Hello everyone, welcome back to our Java programming course. So in our previous videos, we learned about Java programming, the basic structure of the Java program, user input, escape sequences, comments and programming style. So now we are entering into one of the most fundamental topics in Java programming, and that topic is variables and data types. So now you may be thinking like, so variables and data types are very simple. Why should I spend so much time in learning them? My answer is very simple, quite simple. Almost every Java program you write will use variables and data types. Whether you are developing like a banking application, a student management system, or an e-commerce application, or simple Java program for your semester examination, you will need variables. So if you understand variables and data types properly now, many of the upcoming topics will be much easier. So in today's lecture, we are going to understand what is a variable, why do we need variables, how do we declare a variable, how do we initialize a variable, what are data types, what are primitive data types, what are non-primitive data types, and most importantly, how do we decide which data type to use for a particular value. So let's begin. So now, variable. So please do learn these topics. This is very important. Variable means named memory location. Named memory location. So let's imagine that you are writing a Java program to store the age of a student. Suppose, for example, the age of the student is 21. So now if I simply write the number 21 in the program, the computer knows that it's a number. So but later I may want to use the number. I may want to compare the age, increase the age, or print the age, or perform some calculations using the age. So we need a way to store and identify the value. That's where a variable comes into this picture. A variable is a named memory location used to store a value. This is very important definition. So a variable is a named memory location used to store a value. Do note this definition. So variable name memory location value. So for example, if I say a real life example, imagine your college has thousands of students. Suppose your college has lockers, each student gets one. A locker has a unique number, a place to store things, some items stored inside. So similarly, variable have a name, memory location, and a value. For example, int age is equals to 21. So here int age 21. Int is data type. Age means variable name. Here 21 is a value. So for an illustrative understanding, variable is age, memory 21 is age. So you can imagine that a variable named age is associated with the memory location where value 21 is stored. For exam purposes, remember a variable is a named memory location used to store a data. Very important definition. So important. Very important. I'm saying this 3 times. So variable is a named memory location used to store data. So why do we need variables? Why? So why variables? Let's take a real life example. Suppose if I tell you a person like I'm going to say the name of my friend Rahul. He scored 95 marks in an examination. So something. So now if you want to remember Rahul's marks, I need to store the value 95 somewhere else. In Java program, I can write int marks is equals to 95. So I can use the variable marks here. So for example, system dot out dot println marks, output is 95. So can also here you can perform the calculations like int total is equals to marks plus 5. So the now total becomes 100. So variables allows us to store and manipulate data while the program is running. So as a B.Tech students, if I want to say a professional examples, let's imagine a banking application. A banking application needs to store like the account number, customer name, balance, age, interest rate, so on, etc. We could represent these using variables. For example, int age is equals to 21, double balance is equals to 50,000.50. So similarly, in a student management system, int roll number is equals to like int roll number is equals to 101, string student name is equals to Rahul, double percentage is equals to 85.5. So variables used everywhere in real software applications. So now variable declaration. So int age this is called variable declaration. We are telling Java, so I want variable name age and it will store an integer value. So int data type, age is variable name, int is data type, age is variable name. So at this stage we have declared this variable, we have not yet assigned a value. So int age declaration, memory is associated with the variable, memory is associated with variable, value is not explicitly assigned yet, value is not explicitly assigned yet. Please don't confuse by seeing my writing, but you have to understand every word that is coming out of my mouth. So now variable initialization. Variable initialization. Yes, this is the correct one. So variable initialization. So age is equals to 21. So now we are assigning a value to a variable. This is called initialization or assigning a value to the variable. So like assigning a value to variable is called initialization, or assigning a value to a variable. So int age is equals to 21. So now declaration plus initialization. So initialization and declaration. So int age is equals to 21. So here we are declaring the variable and assigning the value at the same time. So do note int age is equals to 21. It is data type. I'm writing data type as dt. No problem. I'll write data type as fully. Data type. It is variable. This is assignment operator. assignment operator. You should not say is equals to, you have to say assignment operator. So the 21 is a value. So this is very important. Don't confuse these three terms: declaration, initialization, assignment. For now understood like that. So now declaration, int age, we declare the variable. So initialization, int age is equals to 21. We give the variable its initial value. So assignment, age is equals to 21. So we assign a value to an already decided variable. So now we're going to write a complete program. So I'll explain that line by line. So for new program, I'm going to start with a fresh page, black or blue, black. So class, the complete program, yeah, I told, complete program. Class a variable demo, public static void main string args int age is equals to 21. System dot out dot println age. So now explaining line by line. Here class variable demo. We are creating a class name variable demo. You can understand it. It is very easy. No need to write line by line here because this is very simple. Don't push your brain to the greater limits. Just understand in a very simple way. If you understand in a simple way, you can write as very happily in the semester examination like eating a piece of cake. Okay, so this is the beginning of the class. So the public static void main, the main method, beginning of the main method, declare an integer variable called age and assign the number 21. So we print the value stored in age, nothing but system.out.println. So the output will be 21. So just write like I explained like this, and you can write the same matter here. So we have declared the class name, so the main method, so and so, beginning of the main method, beginning of the class, so printing, initialization, assigning, etc, etc. Don't push yourselves, just relax, just be cool. So now data types. Now we understand variables, but there is one important question. How does Java know what kind of value we use to store? For example, is it a whole number, or it is a decimal number, or it is a character? Is it true or false? Java needs to know this information. That's why we use data types. So now the definition I'm writing is very important. A data type specifies the type of data that a variable can store. Yeah. So as a real life example, if I'm going to say imagine our college canteen. So we have different containers, one container is for water, another for rice, another for oil. You cannot randomly store everything in every container. So similarly, Java uses data types to specify what kind of data a variable can store. So the variable plus data types means what kind of value can be stored. Yeah, this is important. Variable plus a data type tends to what kind of value can be stored. So the types of data, like types of data types in Java. Yeah, I confused. So, sorry. Types of data types in Java. Data types. Java. So data types, primitive, non-primitive, two types. Primitive, non-primitive. So Java data types are broadly divided into two categories: primitive and non-primitive data types. So primitive data types, these are important. Now, this is important topics: primitive and non-primitive data types. This can be marks scanning questions. They can be asked. Primitive. Yeah, in my semester I used to ask about these type questions. So like, what are primitive data types? So like that and stuff. Okay, but you can learn you have to learn all. So primitive data types means byte, short, int, long, float, double, char, and Boolean. So these, so Java provides 8 primitive data types, 8 in number. I want everyone to remember these 8 primitive data types. So byte, short, int, long, float, double, char, Boolean. You can use like memory tricks like BSIL, FTCB by remembering these, whatever. That's your own choice. Like you have to remember like that, you have to remember like this. I won't select that all. Just remember the byte, short, int, long, float, double, char, Boolean. Okay. So now integer data types. These are like you have to understand these data types, use it to store whole numbers. So let's first understand the data types, use it to store whole numbers. Yeah. So yeah. I'm in a correct line. Like byte, short, int, long. Integer data types. So like byte. Byte age is equals to 20. Byte age is equals to 21. Byte is used to store small integer values. Ranges from -128 to 127. Memory 8 bits. That's it. Short. Short year is equals to 2026. Similarly, range minus 32,768 to 32,767. Memory 16 bits. Int population is equals to 1 lakh. Range 2147483642 2147483647. Memory 32 bits. It is most commonly used integer data type in normal Java programming. So for example, like int age is equals to 21, int marks is equals to 100, int salary is equals to 50,000. So like that. Now long distance is equals to 98765 like 3210L. Range is 2 to the power of 63 to 2 power 63 minus 1. Memory 64 bits. I'm writing like this randomly, like you have to write like in population, so ranges from in the examination if they asked. So important thing, when using a large integer literal as long, we commonly add L. As I add here, we commonly add L. Example, long population is equals to 98 something and something L. So this is important to remember the bytes. Now floating point data types. So what if we want to store a decimal values? For example, decimals like 85.5, 50,000, 0.75, 3.14. We use floating point data types. These are float, double. So float. Float percentage equals 85.5F. Float stores decimal values with single precision. Memory 32 bits. So important, we generally use F or F after the letter. Example, float price is equals to 99.5F, as I have told here also. So double, now double. Double salary, yeah, it's important. Double salary is equals to 50,000.75. Double stores the decimal values with double precision. It generally provides more precision than float. Memory 64 bits. So these are important. As a real life example, if I want to say you are calculating bank interest, scientific calculators, engineering measurements, percentage, you may need decimal values. Therefore, you can use float or double. For most general purposes, decimal calculations, double is considered, commonly preferred. So now I'm going to explain about Char. I'm going to explain about Char. Char grade is equals to A. So Char is used to store a single character. Memory is equals to 16 bits. So like char grade equals to A, char symbol is equals to, you can use dollar symbol, char letter is equals to J, etc. Char values are written inside the single quotes. So single quotes are used. So char, yeah, double quotes are not to be used. So this is the very common mistakes where you use, say, like students used to say single quotes are generally used for a character. Double quotes are used for strings. We will study strings in Unit 5. So not now. So now Boolean. Boolean stores one of two logical values, like true or false. Boolean is passed is equals to true. So like Boolean is passed, is failed, true, false, you can write whatever. So real life example, like if I want to say think of a light switch, so it can be on or off. Similarly, Boolean is true or false. That's it. hope you understand a complete primitive data types. So now non-primitive data types. Non-primitive data types. Apart from primitive data types, Java has also non-primitive or reference types. For examples include string, arrays, classes, interface, objects. For example, string name is equals to Rahul. String name is equals to Rahul. String reference type. Name is a variable. Rahul is string value. So we'll study these concepts in detail in upcoming units. For example, classes and objects in unit 2, arrays in unit 3, string in unit 5. Don't worry if these concepts are not completely clear yet now, as of now. So now how to choose a data type? How to choose a data type? So this is very useful practical section now. So what do I want to store? Choose data type. What do I want to store? Choose data type. Don't fear by seeing my writing. My writing like this only. Okay, now for examples, students, student age, int age is equals to 21. Student percentage, student double percentage is equals to 86.34. So student grade, for student grade, char grade A. Student name, string name is equals to Rahul. I'm not mentioning like student name, student grade, student percentage. You have to think like that, as there is a definition above each and every line. So the result status Boolean passed is equals to true. So I will give you a value, you tell me which data type you would choose. So now the question, student age is equals to 21. What we are going to use? Int. Similarly for grade, we used to choose char. For percentage, double. For passed is equals to true or false Boolean. For name, string. Okay, so no problem. As a last, we'll write a complete program. Are you ready? Cool. Class student, public static void main, string args. It should be simple, as it is a notes. I'm writing like this. So what we have discussed, int age is equals to 21, is percentage, double percentage is equals to 85.5, just assume, as it is our program. So grade, char is used. So is he passed or failed? Boolean passed. True. String name is equals to Rahul. So system dot out dot println name plus name. So similarly, system dot out dot println to okay, I'll write full program as I have told, complete program in the heading. I'll write it for you. I should not do mistake here for taking a leisure, as I have to do it. Plus age. So system dot out dot println percentage plus percentage system dot out dot println grade plus grade. Now system dot out dot println past plus past. To check this. So here we use different data types: int, age, age, int, percentage, double, grade, char, passed, boolean, name, string. The single programs is a practical understanding of why different data types are needed. So this is not a tough program. This is the concept that we have explained earlier in this video. So what is a variable? Let's revise. A variable is named memory location used to store data. Similarly, what is a data type? A data type specifies the type of the data that a variable can store. As I have told about primitive data types, integer types, float types, char type, boolean type, and also non-primitive examples. So now I'm going to give some most important semester questions, which is very useful for you. So do see these questions first and practice more questions from sources. So first one, what is variable? What is variable? Explain variable declaration. Explain variable declaration and initialization with examples. Yeah, I'll include it. Explain data types in Java. Explain data types in Java. Okay, what are primitive data types? What are primitive data types in Java? Explain different integer data types in Java. Explain different integer data types in Java. So explain float and double data types. Differentiate between primitive and non-primitive data types. Write a Java program demonstrating different data types. So I have explained in today's lecture. We understood like one of the most fundamental concepts in Java, variables and data types. We started with like what is a variable, why do we need a variables, how do we declare and initialize variables. Then we understood data types. We studied all 8 primitive data types: byte, short, int, long, float, double, char, and boolean. We also briefly introduced non-primitive data types such as string, arrays, classes, interfaces, and objects. So in the next lecture, we'll go one step deeper. We'll study typecasting, scope of variables, literal constants, symbol constants, formatted output, and some variables and methods, and final attribute. These topics are very important from both the programming perspective and the semester examination perspective. So make sure you revise today's lecture once before moving to the next video. Thank you for watching. Keep learning, keep practicing, and most importantly, don't just memorize Java. Understand Java. Don't buy hard. I'll see you in the next lecture. Okay guys, please like, share and subscribe the video if you enjoyed the session. Bye.